Welcome to Chamber Showcase. I'm Lisa O'Loughlin, host of the show, and as always, it gives me great pleasure to bring you news and information about the Chamber of Commerce, about the businesses and the city, what's new, what's old, and what's coming down the line. So I want to start with a new idea we have for the show, and it's called a shout out, where a chamber member can request a shout out to another chamber member who may have done a good customer service representation or a good deed or some interaction that one member had with another member, and you just want to acknowledge that. So what we're going to do is have you, any member who wants to do that, send your request for a shout out to Joan at the chamber, and she'll follow them along, and on the next show I will do those shout outs. We will have some graphics of the people you're shouting out to, and you who requested the shout out and the person who you're acknowledging, your names will go into a raffle, and we'll pull them, and you can come on the show and talk about this shout out. And I'm going to start the program. I don't have graphics to match it, but I want to do a couple of quick shout outs, starting with right here at UMA, Ron and Guillermo and the staff, the camera folks and all, for just making the Chamber Showcase possible. A lot of work goes into this, and we are very appreciative for all they do to support the Chamber and the Chamber Showcase. Another shout out I have is to Exchange Street Bistro, and Michael and his crew did a phenomenal job for a recent bridal shower for my daughter. Food was great, service was great, the room is great. So shout out to Exchange Street Bistro. Last night I was at a retirement party at Bobby C's, and I want to give a shout out to them, Bobby C's, Julie. We had a large party. They did a great service, always great food, great hospitality. So thanks to Bobby C's. And last but not least, we have a new member. The 110 Grill, Wendy Golini is the general manager over there. I've known Wendy from the past in other restaurant ventures that she had next door here in Melrose, Old Polly's Restaurant. If you're my age or so, you would remember Polly's, and or Cedar Perk she had. So I bumped into her down there, found out she's the 110 Grill, and she signed up to be a member. So giving a shout out to them down there. And that's how shout out works. So we can do maybe 4 shout outs a week. Again, get your request, who you want to shout out to, send it to Joan, and we'll take care of it on the next Chamber Showcase. I want to remind everybody too that the Chamber will post job opportunities. We know how difficult it is to find help these days. Let the Chamber help you. Send in your openings to the Chamber, and she will get them posted for you. And last but not least, on upcoming events, you're all familiar with the festival that the City of Malden is doing every 2 Saturdays. They've been quite successful, a lot of fun. Come on down if you haven't been, lots going on. Go to the city website, go to the Chamber website, get more information on that. I do want to pull out one particular festival weekend day, and that is for coming up soon because it's the Malden Chamber's 130th anniversary coming up. 1891 is when we started the Chamber. So on Summer Festival, Saturday, July 24th, from 3 to 6 p.m. on the lawn of the Public Library, the Chamber will be having a series of events to recognize our 130th. Some of the events will be, again, the Malden Festival starts at noontime, so come down, enjoy the festival, head over to the lawn, and join us for the Chamber event. And we start kicking off the year of dining at this event. And I will say, if you've never done it, take a chance. You could win a lot of gift cards to eat at all our fabulous restaurants. I did win it one year and enjoyed every bite that I had. I think anybody who knows me knows that I'm a foodie. I love the Taste of Malden, the virtual Taste of Malden last year, and the different restaurants all the time, which is how I ended up at the 110 Grill the other night. But the day of the Malden Chamber of Commerce event, we are having dinner at a restaurant of several choices here for you, and they're going to feature a special menu for $18.91. So we have All Seasons Table, the Dockside Restaurant and Bar, El Potro Mexican Bar and Grill, Avita Trattoria, they're new, Exchange Street Bistro, Hugh O'Neill's, Mystic Station, and Pearl Street Station. All except for the Trattoria have been strong supporters of the Malden Chamber, always participate in the Taste of Malden, agreeable to do this for this particular night. And 110 Grill, who's not on the list on the website, has also agreed to have a special menu that night for $18.91. So no excuse to not celebrate the city of Malden for the afternoon and come over to the lawn and celebrate the Malden Chamber of Commerce 130th anniversary. Speaking of anniversaries, that will lead me right up to my first guest. We have here Coleman Nee from Triangle. Coleman, I won't shake,
Yep,
but
thank you.
Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Speaking of anniversaries, you have one coming
We
up.
have a 50th, and I want to make sure that we maybe get in on an unofficial shout out. But as a Triangle, we're a member of the Chamber.
Yes,
I
you
would
are.
like to shout out to the fellow Chamber members. Everyone has been so supportive of this organization and the organization in general. It's been a very difficult year and a half, as you can imagine,
Sure,
for Human
sure.
Services.
Right.
Many of our folks lost their jobs or had to isolate at home. So
Yeah.
we really deeply appreciate the commitment that the Chamber's made to us.
Well, before you talk about your anniversary and all the events, history and going forward, I just want to, you say a shout out. So we have Terry Holgram. He sits on our board of directors. He's on membership committee. And I know when I had mentioned, I sent an email out saying 110 Grill wants to join, he wrote right back, you know, appreciative too of, because all of us work together.
Yep.
So thank you for letting him have the time and effort, and he does a tremendous job.
He's a
for us.
phenomenal
So,
employee and
Yeah.
really a great job placement and great business networker. So he connects so many of our folks owe their job to Terry. So
yeah.
really, thank
oh,
you
really?
for saying
Oh, that's
that.
good.
Yeah,
All right. So what's going on for your 50th?
So we're 50 years old this year. Really exciting development in the history of this organization. We started in 1971. A lot of people always ask me, how did you get the name Triangle? It's not as mysterious as it might sound. We were formed by local business people, many chamber members, back in 1971, and where they met was at the intersection of Malden, Medford, and Everett. So they were in the Triangle, and they came up with that name, Triangle Inc. And really, at that point, it was many folks were being released from with disabilities. We used to institutionalize people. Sure. They were in facilities. They were at home. They weren't really getting out. They weren't in school. And there was a feeling on behalf of these business and civic-minded business leaders that these folks need to be working. They need to be engaged. They need to be in the community. And they got them out of the house. They started in an old church. I know we'll see some photos at some point, but was an old church here in Triangle in Malden, and they were there. They were doing piecemeal work, sheltered workshop is what we call it, working in kind of assembly lines, and that was sort of a very innovative direction for its time. It's not a practice we use anymore, but we can see from I think on the screen right now is our first location, and it's pretty amazing to think of where we've come from that day.
Okay, so why don't we shoot over and
Sure.
go back to the screen of photos. You could walk us through several of the photos. I believe you brought a few of them.
Absolutely, and these photos really tell the story of Triangle, I think.
Yeah.
So if you see from our first location, that would be the church. Then we opened a big facility, built a big facility down on Pearl Street, which is there. Yeah, people know it now. It's built on the old Converse rubber factory.
Yep.
And that was us groundbreaking back in the early 80s. And at that point, we owned the whole building. It was great. This was some of the activities. Some of our folks used to go out and do clean up and volunteer in the community back in the 80s and late 70s. Again, we started then branching out, doing travel training, getting people out into the community, bringing them into Boston. More volunteer opportunities, more, again, away from the sheltered workshop and back out into the community. And then then we started thinking about the fact that, the practice itself of keeping people on site all day long really wasn't helping them to, develop fully as a person, develop fully in their career. And it was also somewhat marginalizing individuals with disabilities from the center of our community. So we started doing trainings on computer, working with high school students. These are folks graciously, the city of Malden's been fantastic about helping us with group employment opportunities, working with Department of Public Works. And then coming up to this year, we were able to open a brand new location on Pleasant Street here. This is myself with the mayor dedicating, and Representative Paul Donato was there as well. This is a testing center for individuals specifically with disabilities who it's accessible testing, so they can take tests for new employment opportunities, HISET testing, workforce, and then finally coming out of the pandemic, we were able, with a great partnership and a grant from Save the Harbor, Save the Bay, we were able to get our folks out and do some beach cleanup during the height of the pandemic, when they've been isolated for months. And it was a great, safe way to get out, help clean the beaches, and help them to experience the air. And, we're doing just so much more in the community with the local businesses. The mayor and the administration here in the city of Malden has been phenomenal to us. We are moving as part of our 50th anniversary. It's our building that you saw breaking the ground on no longer fits our needs. We need a smaller location that allows more community access. So we're going from one side of Malden to the other side over by the Saugus line on 350 Broadway. But when we were looking at the decision, we knew we had to move. We knew the building was too big. And the first thing we said to ourselves is, we're not moving out of the city of Malden. Malden has been so supportive of this organization, the administration, the chamber, the business. Our founders were from Malden. We want to be in Malden because it is just a phenomenal community, a diverse community, and a community that welcomes individuals with disabilities. So we made a commitment. We're going to be here, and we're just really looking forward to the next 50 years.
So when's your move date?
So we're looking at December right now.
Okay.
Everything's, as I'm learning, doing a big project, construction. Every time you open one wall, there's another problem left, and but we think we're on track for a December opening.
Oh,
which would
that's
be
great. Now, are you doing any sort of party, a gala, a fundraiser? What are you doing for your
Yes,
50th
we will.
itself?
We will be doing. We'll be doing a golf tournament. We are doing our annual gala. We're going back to the JFK building, JFK Library, which is where we've had it for the last couple of years. I should have that date at the top of my head, and I promise I will. People go to our website; they will find it. It's escaping me right now, but it is going to be in October.
Okay.
I'm sorry, September.
Okay.
So we're celebrating the 50th anniversary, really bringing together all of the award recipients that we've given awards to, and all of the businesses and all the people who supported us over the years, to really highlight and really thank them.
Yeah.
For 50 years of great work, 50 years of helping us to improve the lives of the people that we serve. And we've grown so much in that time. We now have not just the one-day program, but we have a program in Salem. We have another program here in Main Street in Malden. We have a program down in Randolph, Massachusetts. We have offices in Boston, where we're working with the Boston Public School System, working with many public school systems around the region. And we have 9 residential homes, including 2 here in Malden. So we've grown tremendously over 50 years, and looking forward to another great 50 years of growth.
Yeah. Well, it's certainly a very needed service. There's no doubt about it. And you mentioned yourself the change over time. I mean, everybody was institutionalized and/or kept at home. And then, as you say, you had work, which was better than nothing, but it was in the same building. And now they're out. I mean, they're one of us. They're
right in the center.
mainstream.
Part of it. Yeah. And I'll tell you too. It's not just for them. Individuals with disabilities, particularly a lot of our individuals, contribute so much to the workplace. They make the workplace stronger when they're diverse, particularly around disabilities. And so many people have individuals with disabilities in their families, have disabilities that have individuals in their lives with disabilities. And it really sends a strong message when they walk into a business or they walk into an employer and they see people who they can identify as having disabilities, and understand that business really cares, and that business is making a difference in the life of someone.
Sure, it goes a long way. I often worry, though, there's always the individual that strikes out against it,
Yeah, there is, but and we've had that resistance over the years. But frankly, what we say to them is, let's try it, and let's support the individual as they're going through it, because we all need supports.
Yeah.
And as we've done that, many of those individuals many of those companies have said, I didn't know if this was going to work, are now hiring can you get me more?
Yeah.
People with disabilities, particularly intellectual and developmental disabilities, when they're in supportive workplaces, their turnover is far lower. They're very conscious and very diligent. They have the supports they need. So, you know, many of the supports that businesses might have to offer are already provided by the state or provided by Triangle. So we're able to support them in that way. And you know, job training, we've had people start at, you know, very entry level and work their way up to management. So it's been phenomenal.
Oh, that's great. So at the end of the day, you feel a job well done every day.
You know, we get to see the smiles and we get to see the accomplishment on people's faces every day. And to be honest, you know, it's there's no greater you know, reward than that.
Sure. So I'm familiar with one of your many programs, the TV. You had your own.
We
was
did
it
for a
Ability?
while.
I thought the name was.
Yeah, we had a program. Oh God! Now you're
Oh,
putting
I'm
me
sorry. I
on.
put you on the spot.
We haven't had it in a couple of years, so you're putting me on the spot.
Okay, I don't.
But,
It's okay.
Able Vision.
Able
Yes.
Vision. I was going to say Ability. It was Able Vision.
Able Vision.
Thank you, Ron.
Yeah, no, we you know, it just, you know, for a lot of reasons we had to try to retool that, and you know, we haven't been doing it for a couple of years, but we have been placing people in communications and other types of media outlets for full-time
good.
employment.
Yeah.
So it's been really, you know, and again, it's just part of the evolution of an organization, right?
Sure.
I mean, some programs stay, some programs evolve. Our signature, we were the largest sheltered workshop in Massachusetts at one point, and that now we're, you know, we were one of the first people to abandon that practice.
Yeah.
And now we no longer do it at all.
Wow.
So it's, it's funny.
So you really have done tremendous work, very needed. You have a huge, you call them consumers over the years, number of people that have come through your program, still in your program. On behalf of all the rest of us and the businesses in Malden, we want to congratulate you on your 50th. Thank you for coming on, sharing the information, and we'll watch for better information regarding your JFK Library
Without a doubt.
event.
People can go to our website at triangle-inc.org. They can get information.
Tell them right
all
over
of the,
there.
Yep, triangle-inc.org. You can get all of the information about all of our programs and as well as upcoming events, and just really appreciate the support.
All right, very good. So our second guest will be coming along shortly just to continue the conversation about training and working in the city. So I want to thank you for coming, and we're going to take a short break and come right back and join us for the rest of the show. Thanks.
What's your name?
I'm Allison. Great Eastern Vintage.
Tell us about what we're seeing here.
This is Great Eastern Vintage. We have a store in Central Square, Cambridge, and one here right here in Malden on Highland Ave. This is the store owner, Naftalium.
I think it means the transportation, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, recovering from a surgery, but I'm doing all right. Glad to be here at Malden Summer Festival. Great time.
All right, man.
Yeah, I'm glad and happy to get the word out to everybody that we have a store at 258 Highland Ave, right there in the heart of Edgeworth, Malden.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
My name is Sarah Morris, and I'm a local oil painter.
And how's it going?
It is going fantastically right now.
Look
I'm
at
due
this.
any
Look
day. I mostly do fantasy illustrations, which tend to often be of my friends, but I also do portraiture and block printing and children's book illustrations.
There's light on the horizon. It shines on your darkest days. For good. Now we don't know. So today we don't know.
Free 5-minute chair massages. And there's a raffle for a free 30-minute massage.
Chamber Showcase. I'm Lisa O'Loughlin with my second guest who needs no introduction. Everybody knows him well, but Kevin Duffy. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you so much, Lisa. I appreciate it very much.
It's always a pleasure to have you here. And you may have noticed in the break here we were showing photos at the festival. So let's just take a minute or two and talk about that.
Sure. Well, the summer festivals, we've had 3 so far. We have 3 more this year. The next one is on July 24th, and they're every 2 weeks. So there's one August 7th and then one August 21st. The July 24th festival, which will be our latest and greatest one, is actually a celebration of the Chamber turning 130 years old.
Yeah.
So we're going to have 1891 Day. So on that day, there'll be period appropriate costumes, there'll be period appropriate games. There will be a banner museum out in front of the library on Salem Street. So our entire festival starts at City Hall, goes all the way down the street, and will finish in front of the library. It is not to be missed.
Right. Right. So I spoke a little bit about it earlier, and of course I was pushing the restaurants because
Yes.
need my food. Meals for $18.91.
What a
It's great.
fantastic
It is.
idea.
It's
And
fun.
you know what? You know Malden restaurants, $18.91, you're going to get a great meal.
Yeah,
So that's a bargain.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, and what I think really is most exciting about the night is that, you know, we do these summer festivals from 12 to 6, and the idea is bring everybody to the downtown, and then we stop at 6, and the idea is then people go into the restaurants and help, and it's been great for these first 3 weeks. But this one, we're actually doing a pub crawl afterwards. It's a library chamber pub crawl. It's involved a machine. It's a steampunk pub crawl. So people should get tickets soon before they sell out. The first one sold out.
Oh, I didn't know that part.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
All right.
It's gonna
Well,
be good.
I will have to. I'll have to check that out and get my ticket for sure. And you heard me mention maybe that we added a new member just the other day. The 110 Grill has
Oh,
joined the
yes.
chamber and signed up to do a meal for $18.91. $18.91. So that the list is growing on
Excellent.
that.
And
That's
I
good.
have to be honest, I was very, very surprised at how good the food is at 110 Grill.
Yeah, well,
I've been really pleased
I'll
with
be
that.
honest too. That's why I went down. I'm a fan of. I go up to Route 1. I make a joke. It's at the hilltop. It's the old
Right.
hilltop. I sit on Route 1 out in the patio watching the highway go by. But it's very good food. So when they opened, I said I got to go see where they are, what they're doing, and it's Wendy Golini, who I know from my Melrose days. So,
Wendy,
yeah.
yep,
So
Wendy's
that's
the
really
hostess.
great.
Yep.
But let's go back to our other topic today. We're celebrating Triangle's 50th anniversary, and we had
Yes.
Coleman on, and he alluded to the fact that they partner with the city. So I thought you could maybe speak to that a little bit.
Well, I'd love to. I mean, there's so many different ways we interact with Triangle. Triangle is just such an amazing organization. You know, from from their early days down on Commercial Street and then jumping over to Pearl Street. You know, they originally started out in a 3-city area. Now I think they're 9+. It shows that there's a need out there, and they're rising to the challenge to meet it. They're just wonderful people, and every interaction with them is just fantastic. Not just the professional staff, but their clients as well. So some of the things that we've done on the administration level is help them find new locations. So as you know, they have a career testing center here on Pleasant Street. We help them find that. And then their new corporate office, I think, or administrative office, we help them locate that. They have a great space and a good location. So that's been great to work with them on that. And plus Coleman is just top shelf. But I think probably the thing that most people don't know, and I'd love to get the word out there for a lot of the businesses in the city, is that Triangle has a workforce training program where they can actually train their clients to perform tasks that most of us need in our businesses. And so I know right now a lot of the restaurants are having a hard time finding help. Triangle can get you people who have graduated from a culinary program and are fantastic at repetitive job skills. So if you need dishwashers or cook preps, you know,
yeah.
these are people, and what I always tell people is that these clients live for their jobs. So they don't call in sick. They don't, you know, skip days. They're always there for their shift. It's wonderful. And the best testament to it is Jack Gerbacheski, like patron saint of Malden restaurants. He's had someone from Triangle for, I think, close to 20 years now, and he is the biggest advocate for their services. So I recommend
out to
all
Jack.
restaurants. Shout out to Jack.
Shout out to Jack.
But the restaurant should contact Triangle and find out about their culinary program graduates, because it helps you find the workforce you need.
Yeah, and like you said earlier, the need is huge for help out there. Any business,
Well, in the
every
restaurant
business,
jobs
but,
for sure.
But the restaurant for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, and how unfortunate it is that the patrons of those restaurants have no patience, and you know, I haven't seen it myself. I will
Yeah.
admit here in Malden, but
Grew up in the restaurant business, and I'm not in the restaurant business anymore. I was able to make the choice.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't understand how abusive the restaurant industry and clientele can be, but let's not go off on
yeah,
that.
no,
you
I know. So Coleman mentioned Public Works. Department of Public Works helps hire some for cleanups and
Similar idea. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? There's a lot of times we have to do like a park cleanup at the start of the school year, the summer, the
Yep.
spring, you're getting ready. And so the clientele from Triangle are fantastic for that. Again, it's repetitive tasks. You give them what they're looking for, and say, this is what we need you to do. And they're like all over it. They love to do it. So they help us clear wide swaths of area and get it ready for everybody else to use the park.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
So
wonderful.
the message to our employers in the city is
Yes.
reach out either through you to get direction, because you're the great, you know, they are the connector here.
I do
to
love to
everything.
connect
Yeah,
people. I
yeah.
live to do that.
That's right.
But they should be reaching out absolutely
To Triangle.
Yeah.
And
Terry
some
Holmgren
help.
in particular, he's overseeing that
yeah.
project.
So Terry's on the chamber board of directors and membership committee, and so Terry's a great guy. I had not met Coleman till today, but I do know Terry. So Terry's the person people should reach out
He's
to.
he's excellent at picking the right person from his client list
Yeah.
to fit the job. So, you know, businesses should just give their workers a chance, because I think you'll be very, very happy. And then you'll be like Jack Gerbacheski, 20 years in, saying, I'm so glad I did this.
Well, honestly, if I had a business in Malden, I would definitely consider that. But I have retired from business, so. But
On to your many other jobs you'll be doing. I know you.
I know, that's true. But I do plan on coming down to the festival on the 24th. I'm going to get home and get my ticket. I'm going to tell everybody listening to this show, please look at the website, whether it's the City of Malden website for the festival or the Chamber Festival. We're probably both selling tickets for the pub crawl.
Well, right now, only the Chamber's
Only the
selling it.
Chamber's selling the
It's
tickets.
exclusive to the Chamber, but
Okay.
come Friday, it'll go open to the public.
Okay,
The
so-
first one sold out.
Okay, that's great. So thanks for your time. Always a pleasure to have you on the show. I'll see you at the festival on Saturday the 24th.
Thank you,
And I
Lisa.
hope to see all of you there as well. Thanks for joining. Stay well, be safe, and we'll see you soon. Good night.